Hi human, my name is Bodon, I am a 3D artist, and today I will show you the difference between creating animations using motion capture suit and creating a similar one use Blender. In order to start creating animations, we need to do rigging. The first thing we need to do is to create a skeleton for the character. This step is called rigging. By the way, for animation, skinning and rigging I use Blender. For rigging I use a plugin called AutoRig. Now you can see how I put the points all over the model to create the bones. This is how the finished bones look. It is still not convenient to work with them, so we generate controllers. With their help to create animation will be much easier. This is how controllers looks like. Now we need to link them to our character. And here we go to the next step. Skinning or weight painting. At the beginning we use the AutoRig for automatic skinning, then we have to do everything manually, unfortunately. How it works, our model consists of vertices and we need to assign all vertex to a certain bone. In this model there are about 60 bones and 35,000 vertices. Now you can see how I use weight paint. Weight paint values can be from 0 to 1. 0 is blue, these vertices have no effect on the bone. If I move this bone, nothing happens. Value 1 is red, the maximum value. Values in between are indicated by yellow, green, etc. The most problematic places are the bends of the arms and legs. By the way, it is quite difficult to animate clothes when they are long, like in our case. And here we go to the final step. Animation. Animations can be created manually in Blender or using MoCap. Now you will see how I create animation manually. First, you need to come up with a movement. After this, using keyframes, you need to create the initial position on frame 0 and the final position on the last frame. Once we have created the first and last position, we can add movement between them. The correct thing to do would be to block out the movements first, and only then start making micro movements. To make the movements more realistic, I try to repeat it myself in front of the mirror. This way you can understand the logic of the movements and try to recreate them in animation. Now we will create a similar animation using a motion capture. I used a costume from Rococo. To record movement, I use the Rococo Legacy program, then from it you can export the recorded animation to FBX with different types of skeletons such as Mixamo, Rococo, Maya, etc. In my case, I select a Rococo skeleton and then retarget it in Blender to an Unreal skeleton. The main problem of animations recorded through MoCap is that they need to be cleaned. For cleaning I use graphics and keys, probably the most difficult and the longest process in the creation of animation. In this case, the quality of the animations depends on the costume and the time spent cleaning the animations. I'm using an older version of the suit, so polishing the animations takes me longer than usual. Now you see the final versions of animations. On each of them I spent the same amount of time, 1 hour. They still have some minor flaws, but if you spend more time you can achieve a better result. On the right side of the screen, the animation made with motion capture. It has excellent motion detail. The animation looks more realistic, but you can still see some places where you need to polish the animation. On the left side of the screen, an animation made in Blender. This animation is smoother. To work with it is much more convenient than with motion capture, but it does not have such detail that would achieve a realistic result. You need to spend many hours of work that it would look better. That's all for today. Thank you for your attention.